correct ourselves and adjust our way of doing businesses. There's just no promise of changing the way they do things. It's all sad to me, but it's very, very, very unfortunate. This will affect my family as much as it will affect everybody else's who's listening or here in the audience. While I sit here, I speak, as a parent, not really so much as a selectman. Sometimes I have to speak as a parent, and I'm concerned about this. I don't care if the NTU gave question 3 the highest rating. I don't care if the Boston Herald endorsed it. I don't care if the government manages it. I do care if government manages itself in our best interest. And I think to just fall off from what Mike was saying is that, why is this question out there? Because our state government is not managing itself in such a way that it's in our best interest overall. There's just too much fluff in the stuff that they're doing. So I urge people not to take this question lightly. Vote as you see best. And just remember, this is not only how it affects you, it is also about how it affects others. Thank you.
Sean?
It's unfortunate that we sit here in a position where I would say the majority of people don't have faith in state government. And I say that because I don't think our state legislature or our current governor has taken the necessary steps to reduce cost within state government or given municipalities the ability to reduce cost. And that's why we're faced with question 3, because they chose to increase the tax in order to generate revenue for the state government. It was, in my opinion, a wrong decision to start with. And instead of reducing it to 5%, the general public went out there and got enough signatures to get this question on the ballot to send a message to the state legislature. But it's unfortunate that we don't have faith that the state legislature will do the right thing. And certainly what they'll hit, if this question passes, will be local aid. And it's such a tremendous cut to all communities, but especially our community here in North Reading, that personally, I'll be voting against question 3. But like I said, in terms of question 1, I can't tell you in the audience here or anyone at home the way they should vote. Because once again, I refer back to the number of mortgage foreclosures we have in this community and the unemployment rate of residents in this community. I can't tell those folks who are sitting in that position, and thankfully I'm not one of them and my family's not one of them, I can't tell them that they should vote against this question. Personally, I will be. And it's unfortunate our state government has engendered this fear that's out there, that this is what they'll do. They'll come and they'll hit local communities once again. And it'll be us, the taxpayers in North Reading, that will have to suffer. It'll be the students in North Reading that will have to suffer. I think a message has to be sent to Beacon Hill. This is the wrong message, though, because if they do enact it, which they may not, as they have in citizens' petitions in the past, but if they do, this is certainly an area that they will cut. Personally, I'm voting against question 3. And people at home, people here, you have to make your own personal decisions of how you're going to vote based upon your own personal circumstances.
Bob, just to help quantify it a little bit, if you spent $10,000 on taxable items, under the current structure, you'd be paying $625 in tax, sales tax on it. Whereas under the proposal, you'd be spending $300. So the net savings to an individual who's purchasing something, items that would be taxable at a $10,000 rate, you're going to save $325. I mean, that $325, if you're putting it back in people's pockets, I mean, how far is that going to go on an annualized basis to trickle down and trickle out into the economy and help it? I think that whole argument can be diffused just by quantifying it that way. It's not going to make a significant difference in the economy by putting $325 in somebody's pocket or a family's pocket to do it. It may help them, on a monthly basis, for $30 a month, whatever it is, that may help. But it's not going to trickle out into the economy and stimulate jobs and job growth. But what are the effects of that $325, more out of saving $325 that I would say put back in my pocket? What effect is it going to have on the quality of life and the way that we live and the services that are delivered here in North Reading? I couldn't purchase what we're going to lose for that $325 as an individual family. I couldn't purchase it. You know, it's gonna be cutbacks in the school system, maybe teaching, programming, additional programs. I mean, and you're just gonna get feed to death even more than we are now. You know, as far as on the general government side, public safety, public health, trash, whatever else we do in the way of services, we're going to have to increase, whether it be a fee-based thing or eliminate the service altogether. So, you know, so for on a $10,000 worth of purchases, to save $325, you know, to make a statement, is not the way to do it. You know, I didn't like the sales tax being raised to 6.25%, and, but I can't see rolling it back right now either, at this particular point in time. I can see it when things get better, put it back to the 5% or less, but not now, not now. And state government had to respond. I mean, state government, there have been 3,000 state employees gone in the last 2 years, positions eliminated in state government. The governor has not necessarily, and I know, Sean, you kind of targeted the governor, but it's more the legislature that's been failing to act, not the governor. The governor has taken strong positions. He's cut 3,000 positions. He has not said, as far as municipal relief, that he wouldn't give us that. The legislature refused to put it on his desk. So, again, the blame and responsibility lies with the legislature at this point, not the governor. So, again, just to help quantify it, $325 on $10,000 worth of purchases, and what we're going to lose and the effects of it will be absolutely catastrophic.
All right, before anybody responds, we don't want to get into, we weren't going to debate this.
We weren't going to debate, but I think it's open to debate now. I mean, it's a give and take. If it's going to be a give and take, then we all should just had one shot at this.
I apologize, I meant to quantify it.
We all should have just one shot at it. But using that logic, Mr. O'Leary, then you raise it to 10%. What the hell's the difference?
I don't know.
Raise it to 10. And you talk about your governor, this is a position that he tried to fill. It was open for 12 years. He wanted to fill it for a patronage position to someone that supported him at $175,000 a year. This is a governor that you say is not responsible. I disagree. I think there's both the state legislature and your governor, both are to blame. You can't tell me that that was a good idea on his part to fill a position, a patronage position at $175,000 a year that had been open for 12 years. I don't think the state government needed that position. If it was open for 12 years, it was unfilled for that length of time. And I'm sure there were other positions like that that have been filled. So maybe it's a good idea to cut 3,000 positions in state government. I think there's still a lot of waste there that can be cut. And this isn't the area that should be cut.
So we can, one more time around for those that haven't spoken, and then we're going to move on, okay? Jeffrey?
Yes, yes. To answer the example of the $10,000, you're only going to save $325. But if you take 10 families, that's $3,250. So the money gets out there, you start a flow of money, and I think it's very important for us to get into a position where the economy starts to move and money starts to flow, and jobs, no matter how small they are, start to open up, and we develop momentum. Right now, we are in stagnation. No one wants to do anything. You can't find a job, no one wants to give a job, and that's about where we are right now. So we need to get the economy going, and this would help, I believe. So.
Thank you. Michael, you gonna say anything? Or you gonna
Yes, sir. I'd like to get back to the agenda, joint appointment, so that's where I'm like to be.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
I'm sorry, is it possible I could just address the community for a moment?
Yes.
I just want to invite people to our meeting, we are going to be discussing.
Karen is a member of the school committee. Karen
Thank you,
Ericetti.
sorry, Karen Ericetti, 7 Greenbrier Drive, I would say that. I just heard a lot about the school department, and I am a school committee member, and I want to just say thank you for bringing up the issues of the school department and the unbelievable cuts that we will face. At our last school committee meeting, all of our members took individual positions on question 3. We discussed this, and all of us are opposed, although we did not take a formal vote, since that was not an appropriate step. However, we have a meeting on October 25th at 7 p.m. that I invite the community to continue discussing some of these issues if they wish to do so in public input. This is something that really does affect us, and we are considering how to prioritize cuts in a contingency plan. So if anyone wants to come to our meeting, they're more than welcome to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, next item on our agenda is a joint appointment of the Hillview Commission.
Just to clarify, at the middle school cafeteria,
Middle school library.
library.
Thank you.
Joint appointment of the Hillview Committee, the whole Hillview Commission here this evening now? Present, George?
Yeah, Hank's not available.
Okay. So, under the process that we will take, we will have a roll call vote. We'll put into nomination all of the candidates, of which I think there was 6.
6,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
So I'll start with Mr. Prisco, reading the motion. And if there's a discussion to be had, we'll open up after the motion is made.
Yep.
Mr. Prisco.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I move to place in nomination the following names for appointment to the Hillview Commission to fill an unexpired term through December 31st, 2010, one opening. Number 1, Peter Hemme, 55 Lindor Road. Number 2, Paul Ashman, 4 Winterberry Lane. Number 3, Ann Davis, 23 Hillview Road. Number 4, Thomas McDonough, 19 Orchard Drive. Number 5, Peter Moffett, I don't want to say this wrong, but Moffett, 2 Greenboro Drive. Number 6, Paul Dorsey, 8 Magnolia Road.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Mr. O'Leary is liaison to
Thank
the
you, Mr.
Hillview
Chairman.
Commission. Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, just as you're aware, this vacancy was created by the resignation of Larry Diamond, who, again, passed away just a couple of weeks ago. Larry was the longtime financial director, treasurer of the Hillview Commission, and we're looking to fill this position with an individual who has like talents in relation to financial ability to keep the books in order. Filling Mr. Diamond's shoes are going to be very difficult, but I can assure you that he left everything in perfect order, and it's ready to be picked up by whomever the joint boards decide to appoint. George Stack, as chairman of the Hillview Commission, and myself have been conferring quite a bit on this. We've talked with most of the applicants, and again, these applicants are the current applicants whose applications have been on file for at least 3 years, for 3 years or less, and just in the revolving consideration as appointments come up. But of the 6 that are seeking appointment at this particular time, my recommendation would be Peter Hemme, who has a significant background in financial background. He's a CPA, a CFO of his company, and has an interest in serving, and for that we're certainly appreciative. All of these applicants were certainly appreciative of their willingness to serve on the commission, and some of them on other boards, committees, and commissions too, that put their name in for. But at this particular time, Mr. Hemme would best suit the commission's needs in relation to meeting the treasurer's slot, and I'll defer to Chairman Stack at this point, if I may, Mr. Chairman, to give you his recommendation.
Mr. Stack, could you come to the podium, please?
Yeah, I'd like to mention also about Larry that a day or two before he entered hospice, I was with him for 7 hours at the Hillview. And he had gotten the books in order and done the budget for next year, and basically said to me, it's done, my watch is over, everything's complete, and whoever picks it up, if they know QuickBooks, will be able to deal with it. So on that basis, I went over and I went through all of the applicants. And, we talk about the Hillview treasurer, but it's evolved more into a chief financial officer. Treasurer is nice. Fraternal organizations have treasurers. We really need someone that has a background in finances, knows the bond market, how things are done. And when I looked at it all, went through it all, Peter Hemme seemed to have the best. He's in China, so he can't be here, and I promised him if he was selected, I would not call him tonight. So. But he does have the financial background that's required.
Actually be in the morning.
The Hillview, like any other business, is hit by the economy. It's finally hit us. It took a long, long time, but it has hit us. We're trying to get a handle on the demographics